Potential changes in the Athens parking garage may make finding a spot easier. Guns drawn, a police chase, and now charges, all because she was late for work.
Sunshine, warm temperatures, and high pressure dominating right now, but that is all about to change this weekend. You might want to bring your umbrellas.
In sports, a former Ohio basketball player will now play for another university in Ohio.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Good evening, I'm Steven Hernandez. Thanks for joining us. The city parking garage will be getting some upgrades. Reporter Caitlin Coolidge tells us what these improvements will be and when we can expect to see them.
There could be a monitor near where I'm standing indicating how many parking spots are available if the proposed improvements for the city parking garage are passed by City Council. City Service Safety Director Andy Stone introduced this proposed plan to Council last night and says the parking garage was built in the 60s and underwent some repairs and improvements in the early 90s and about 10 years ago. Those changes were mostly to the elevators and lighting throughout the garage. The proposed changes Stone presented to Council are more for the look and functionality of the parking garage. The upgrades include replacing the compact fluorescent lights with LED lighting, which, according to Stone, will save the city money, will be twice as bright, and will provide a more safe environment throughout the garage.
One of the most significant comments we get from the public is I don't park in the parking garage because it's too dark. And this will remedy that.
The plan also includes replacing the upper and lower signs of each floor with color-coded floor signs, a monitor at the entrance of the garage that would show how many parking spots are available, new signage within and on the outside of the garage, the removal of doors and cinder block walls from the stairwell, an additional change machine at the entrance of the garage, and including artwork or pictures that are part of the Essence of Athens plan. For Newswatch, I'm Caitlin Coolidge.
Stone says a more comprehensive plan will be presented to Council soon and that the estimated cost of the project would be around $600,000. He hopes it can begin early this summer. Trimble High School will have renovations done later this year. A project will fix a crack in the front of the building. It's affected an indoor portion of the building too. The school district superintendent says the crack developed due to the foundation settling. The project is estimated to cost around $120,000. And a society trying to preserve historic Athens building won a court case. A judge says a website and Facebook page featuring Mount Zion Baptist Church is illegal. The Mount Zion Baptist Church Preservation Society filed the suit. It argued the Facebook page featuring the church and a website with a PayPal link are confusing to the public. The judge also found the website's owner, Cincere Johnson, contempt of court.
Well, this is certainly a change of weather. Hi, everybody. I'm forecaster Nicholas Snyder. Look at these beautiful temperatures today. 51 degrees, just gorgeous out there. Not a cloud in the sky. Humidity is at 22%. Very dry out there. Pressure is at 30.34 inches and rising as a high pressure continues to make its way through the area. Winds are out of the north at 10 miles an hour. All across the area, just gorgeous. Not a cloud in the sky pretty much wherever you go. And temperatures are relatively warm in the lower 50s and upper 40s. 50 degrees in Columbus, 49 in Newark, 47 in Cambridge. 54 down in Ironton is the warm spot, and 52 in Ripley. All under mainly sunny skies. Pretty much not a cloud in the sky anywhere you go. But this is all about to change as we take a look at the highlights for the next couple of days. Spring is in sight. We're going to get even warmer over the next couple of days. A rainy, even stormy weekend is ahead, and then we could say goodbye to winter, it looks like, officially. We'll talk all about that coming up on my full forecast in the next couple of minutes. Stephen, are you ready to maybe see your first 70-degree high in the full forecast?
Ooh, that sounds very good. Yeah, help us stay posted, Nicholas. Thank you. An Ohio University investigators report found no documented evidence journalism professor Yusuf Kaliango retaliated against a graduate student for her role in an investigation against him. The student, who is not named in the sexual harassment case filed by Tess Herman against Kaliango, alleged Caliendo strongly advocated against her admission to the university's journalism PhD program last year. Investigator G. Antonio Naya says there is very strong evidence that Caliendo had taken adverse action against the woman, but the evidence is not strong enough to prove her claims. The student was later admitted into the program after Caliendo resigned from the admissions committee. Another university in Ohio is suspending a fraternity. Miami University announced the Delta Tau Delta fraternity was suspended pending investigation. A report says a student told university officials he was hazed. The Hamilton Middleton Journal News reports he says members beat him with a spike paddle, kicked him, and forced him to drink large amounts of alcohol. The student says he was taken to the hospital after saying he felt like he was, quote, going to die. A woman in Ohio went to great lengths this morning to avoid getting pulled over by troopers. The reason for the chase? She says she was late for work. Rob Powers reports.
Ohio State troopers were chasing this vehicle after the woman behind the wheel fled a traffic stop. Soon, Newburgh Heights police joined in on the chase. At one point, law enforcement thought they had her boxed in on the interstate, but watch. You'll see the driver make a desperate and dangerous move. Even as an officer stood right outside her driver's side window with his gun drawn, she hit the gas, nearly running down police and ramming two Newburgh Heights police cruisers during that dangerous escape. Despite all of that, that officer does not fire his gun.
She's lucky you didn't get shot.
I almost shot her.
I saw, man.
Yeah.
You're so lucky you didn't get shot.
Later, a trooper told him he would have been well within his rights. And the Newburgh Heights police chief agreed, commending the officers involved for their restraint.
The officers with their weapons drawn, they held very good restraint in my opinion because their lives were at stake. I mean, she almost ran them over, and that's a 2,000-pound weapon coming at you that they jumped out of the way just in the nick of time to save their own lives.
After the chase left the interstate, you can see the driver tear through residential streets of Cleveland. Ironically, she continued to use the turn signal. Even after police damaged that vehicle so badly her hatchback was practically dangling, she kept right on going. Troopers finally stopped her by forcing her onto a curb into a pole, and she could not go forward anymore. She was arrested, then had to explain herself.
What are you doing?
I was on my way to work.
Do you have any idea what you just did?
Yes, sir.
Obviously you don't.
Newburgh Heights police showed News 5 the damage done to those two cruisers that were rammed. All of this mess started because of a window tint and a registration violation.
A quick correction, this happened yesterday, not today. Edwards has been charged with felonious assault and failure to comply. Coming up, Democrats vow to pursue more in the Trump-Russia probe. Plus, the president's administration is supporting a court case ruling the Affordable Care Act unconstitutional. Those stories next on Newswatch.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
Welcome in, Hardwood fans. Now, as you know, we've already aired our season finale where you see all these great people behind me who made our all-hero and all-future teams. But that doesn't mean our coverage stops. There are still a lot of teams in the playoffs and games left to be played. So if you want to stay up to date with all that and all the other TVC action, then go follow our social media. Like us on Facebook, add us on Snapchat, and follow us on Twitter. And always remember to be heroic.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
Its deathbed. The Trump administration now says the entire law needs to be struck down. John Lawrence reports.
President Trump has made no secret about his dislike of the Affordable Care Act.
It's incredible some of the things we've come up with that are much less expensive than Obamacare and in many respects are much, much better.
And now the Justice Department has taken a further step. According to a filing with a federal appeals court, the administration says it agrees with a federal judge's ruling in Texas that negates the ACA as unconstitutional. Some Democrats quickly responded, blasting the White House. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi calling this move an all-out war on affordable, dependable health care. And 2020 Democratic presidential hopeful Senator Kamala Harris tweeting, "We must fight back again with everything we've got."
My administration is committed to delivering a health care system that takes care of American people, of the American people, and like they haven't been taken care of before.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
California Attorney General Xavier Becerra issued a statement saying, quote, "Because no American should fear losing health care, we will defend the ACA every step of the way." The Mueller investigation is over, and now President Trump is ready to take the offensive. That story's still ahead.
And weather-wise, we have some warmer air coming, but not before a little bit of rain. We'll talk all about that coming up in my full forecast when Newswatch returns.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Welcome in, Hardwood fans. Now, as you know, we've already aired our season finale where you see all these great people behind me who made our all-hero and all-feature teams. But that doesn't mean our coverage stops. There are still a lot of teams in the playoffs and games left to be played. So if you want to stay up to date with all that and all the other TVC action, then go follow our social media. Like us on Facebook, add us on Snapchat, and follow us on Twitter. And always remember to be heroic.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse.
TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Well, it was just a gorgeous day out there. We didn't have any clouds today, and it was warm and beautiful. Here's 50 was our high today in Columbus, 49 the high in Newark, 47 in Cambridge. Look at this, 54. That was our high today down in Ironton. Again, nothing but sunny skies all across the area. Just a gorgeous day, and believe it or not, it's going to get even better as we go throughout the week. Here's a look at the current jet stream situation. Here's the Polar Jet. Now, the Polar Jet, When it's up here like this, that means we're under very warm air. The subtropical jet is down here, which is why we're so dry, because when the subtropical jet is down to the south, typically most of the storm systems go down south, but the polar jet is well north of us, and that means we're staying warm and dry over the next couple of days. As we take a look at the surface, we see this high pressure again just dominating overhead, and that's why we're keeping the clouds and rain showers away and just seeing that beautiful weather right now. We'll talk about some rain coming in for the weekend in a little bit, but first we'll get you through tonight. 41 at 8 p.m., 36 at 10, and 34 at midnight. Clear, calm, and cool. Stargazer's delight tonight. Just make sure you grab a jacket, as it will be a little bit chilly as you're going out and about tonight. 34 degrees, mainly clear, Clouds will move in after midnight. Winds will be out of the northeast at 0 to 5 miles an hour. Pretty much the same all across the area. 27 in Columbus, 26 in Newark, 29 in Cambridge, 32 in New Martinsville, 31 in Marietta, 34 here in Athens. All under mainly clear to partly cloudy skies, depending on where you are. Up towards I-70, you may see some more clouds as the night goes on. Looking at tomorrow morning, 29 at 8. Look at this warm up at 10 a.m. though. 42 and 45 by noon. Again, clouds will move out, abundant sun, and just beautiful weather tomorrow, and it's going to get even warmer. 57 will be our high. We may see a couple of 60s further south down along the river. Mostly clear and, again, warm and spring-like. Just a gorgeous day tomorrow. If you're going out and about for lunch, tomorrow is the day to do it. It is just going to be gorgeous. Winds will be out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour, and all across the area, look at this beautiful weather. 55 in Columbus, 55 in Chillicothe, 60 in Ironton, and that will feel cool after Thursday and Friday come along as we take a look at another surface map. We have this warm front up here. That's going to bring in warm air from the south. It's going to create another gorgeous day going into the rest of the week. So right now, here's our 10-day air masses. This is the current picture. We have this kind of cooler air overhead. That will retreat north. And here's our subtropical jet lifting north. And that's what's going to bring in some much warmer and much moister air coming into Friday. We could see highs in the 70s Thursday into Friday, but here's that cold front coming in for Sunday, and that will stir up a couple of storms and rain on Friday into Saturday before next Thursday, again, we'll see more warm weather. Extended forecast, 69 degrees on Thursday here in Athens. If you're down south along the river, wouldn't be surprised if some of you hit 71 or 72. Just a gorgeous day. Friday, the rain moves in, 68 degrees with a 60% chance of showers, mainly in the afternoon. And Saturday is the rainy day. Lots of thunderstorms likely. We'll keep an eye on that day, as we could see some possible severe weather. We will keep an eye on that. Stay tuned to WOUB and at Snyder_WX on Twitter and Instagram for that. Sunday, the rain clears out in the morning, but only a high of 48 before warming you back up next Tuesday. Another gorgeous day with sunny skies and a 62-degree high. Stephen?
Thanks, Nicholas. Robert Mueller's nearly 2-year investigation is over, but not for President Trump. It appears he now wants to settle the score, even after Mueller cleared him and his campaign of conspiring with the Russian government in the 2016 election. CNN's Jessica Schneider reports.
There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. Those people will certainly be looked at.
President Trump and his allies on the offensive after being cleared of conspiracy with Russia by special counsel Robert Mueller, with half a dozen aides and advisors telling CNN the president plans to use the results to attack his perceived political enemies.
We can never let this happen to another president again.
The top Republicans in the House and White House counselor Kellyanne Conway calling for the resignation of the head of the House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff.
He's been on every TV show 50 times a day for practically the last 2 years, promising Americans that this president would either be impeached
Kellyanne, he's a politician. That's what.
But Schiff pledging to continue his investigation into the president's conduct and dismissing criticism.
More than used to attacks by my GOP colleagues, and I would expect nothing less.
Senate Judiciary Chairman Lindsey Graham vowing to investigate allegations of anti-Trump bias at the Justice Department and the FBI, and calling for a new special counsel probe.
By any reasonable standard, Mr. Mueller thoroughly investigated the Trump campaign. You cannot say that about the other side of the story.
The president's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, criticizing Mueller for declining to exonerate the president on obstruction of justice, despite not charging him.
This is a cheap shot. He is exonerated in the next two paragraphs. Well, the next two paragraphs say, not sufficient evidence, and no obstructive conduct.
Meanwhile, 6 House Democratic Committee chairmen demanding Barr release the full Mueller report and underlying evidence and documents by next Tuesday.
There is no good reason not to make the report public.
President Trump insisting he's not opposed to the report being publicly released.
Up to the Attorney General, but it wouldn't bother me at all.
But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell blocking a second effort from Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to put it to a vote in the Senate. The bill passed unanimously in the House. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi sidestepping questions about Mueller's report.
Are you ready to say that there was no collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia in light of the Mueller finding?
Does this exonerate the president?
I think that Mueller report was clear. The president is not exonerated.
Sources tell CNN that Speaker Pelosi wants her caucus to focus on their agenda and not the Mueller probe, which she and other top leaders view as a distraction. Officials at detention centers along the United States southern border are being forced to release detained migrants as room and resources run out. As this morning, the Department of Homeland Security says there are more than 12,000 migrants in custody at the U.S.-Mexico border. The agency can only hold and process around 9,000. The capacity issues are now forcing officials to release migrants from custody, even if they have upcoming court hearings. The state of Illinois is dropping all charges against Empire actor Jesse Smollett, who was accused of staging a false attack and claiming to be a victim of a hate crime. Smollett's attorney released a statement saying Smollett was, quote, a victim who was vilified and made to appear as a perpetrator as a result of false and inappropriate remarks made to the public, causing an inappropriate rush to judgment. Smollett agreed to forfeit his $10,000 bond to the state, and a spokesperson says his record will be fully expunged.
Hello everybody, I'm Brian Kerp. Coming up later on, an Ohio softball player continues to swing a hot bat. She was named the MAC Player of the Week for her efforts. But right after the break, Ohio men's basketball's Jason Carter is officially transferred from the program. Find out where he will be playing basketball next season, up next on Newswatch. And be sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
A box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse.
TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
Welcome in, Hardwood fans. Now, as you know, we've already aired our season finale where you see all these great people behind me who made our all-hero and all-future teams. But that doesn't mean our coverage stops. There are still a lot of teams in the playoffs and games left to be played. So if you want to stay up to date with all that and all the other TVC action, then go follow our social media. Like us on Facebook, add us on Snapchat, and follow us on Twitter. And always remember to be heroic.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Welcome back, I'm Brian Kerp. Last week it was announced that Ohio's Jason Carter entered his name into the NCAA transfer portal. Last night, the Ohio Athletic Department confirmed that Carter will be transferring to Xavier. Carter is only a redshirt sophomore and was Ohio's leading scorer this past season. He averaged 16.5 points per game and 6.7 rebounds per game. He was also named to the All-MAC third team. It is unknown whether Carter will have to sit out a year. He still has 2 years of eligibility left. His departure will be tough for the Bobcats to replace. Ohio women's basketball's leading scorer, Cece Hooks, had a pretty memorable day Sunday against Middle Tennessee in the WNIT. She scored the game-winning basket with under a second left, broke the school's steals in a season record for the second time in her career, and she also scored her 1,000th career point. And oh yeah, she is still just a sophomore.
It's been pretty fun. Like, scoring 1,000 points your sophomore year is pretty big. I mean, a lot of people don't score that to their junior year, so I'm grateful and thankful that I was able to do that, and not only, but do it with the team that I have. I couldn't imagine being at another school and playing with other players and having a great coaching staff, so it's pretty fun.
Hooks and the Bobcats prepare for the round of 16 game against Western Kentucky Thursday at the Convo. Ohio is the only women's MAC team remaining in any postseason tournament. Being in a postseason tournament can be beneficial to any college team.
Anytime you can play college basketball, you have something to learn from it. And when you play in these types of games, the lesson's pretty clear, and getting through it and having a successful experience is valuable as well as unsuccessful. You can learn from both, but at this point you only get a chance to learn if you're successful.
One person that's having success is Ohio's softball's Katie Young. She had a monster week offensively that led to her being named the MAC Player of the Week. Last week in total, Young hit 6 homers and had 9 RBIs with a .556 batting average. Young went 4 for 6 with 3 home runs and 4 RBIs against Pitt last Tuesday. When the Bobcats returned to Athens, Young's bat came with them. She hit 3 homers in the team's 3-game series against Bowling Green and had 5 RBIs while going 6 for 12 at the plate in Ohio's sweep of the Falcons. Young and the softball team are currently in action at the Ohio softball field. As of just a few minutes ago, they are leading Northern Kentucky 3-1 in the 7th inning. The Ohio baseball team is also in action at Bob Wren. They are tied with the Marshall Thundering Herd at 1 in the 3rd inning. For coverage of both the softball and baseball games, be sure to follow along on Twitter at Bobcat Showcase. The Cincinnati Reds played their final spring training game earlier today in Atlanta. The Reds dropped that one 7-5. Kyle Farmer and Kurt Casale both drove in 2 runs for the Reds. Anthony DeSclafani struck out 4 batters in 4 innings of work. The Reds' next game will be on opening day, which is Thursday, at Great American Ballpark against their divisional rival, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Luis Castillo will get the start for the Reds. His first opening day start, Jamison Tyone will get the ball for the Pirates. Wow, it's hard to believe that baseball season is already here. I'm Brian Kerp, and that's all I have for sports. Over to you, Nicholas.
I'll tell you what, Brian, it's going to feel a lot like baseball weather over the next couple of days. 57 tomorrow in Athens, mostly clear and really warm. Winds will be out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. All across the area, again, temperatures are going to be very spring-like. 55 in Columbus, 54 in Newark, 54 in Cambridge, as well in New Lexington, 57 in Athens, 57 in Jackson, 60 down in Ironton. That'll be the warm spot. We could see warmer temperatures than that as well. Here's the extended forecast. Thursday, 69. Again, a few areas may hit 70 or even 71 or 72 if you're south of the river. Mostly sunny skies. Friday, a 60% chance of rain at 68. Saturday is the day to watch. Thunderstorms are likely with a high of 65. And Sunday, the rain clears out in the morning at 48 degrees. Stephen?
Thanks, Nicholas, and that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Steven Hernandez. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming next. And remember, you can catch the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.